gonna start off with my favorite primer, which is the Too Faced Hangover X. I just like to put this all over my face. Really helps hydrate my skin and just really get it ready for a nice foundation to really just sit well on nice and plumped up skin. I do like to apply that before my foundation just so it really gets a chance to really sink in. And whenever I do my eye makeup, I'll do that first. I'm gonna take the Anastasia Dipbrow pomade and just fill in my brows. I'm probably gonna skip through this part, or I'll just really fast forward through it just because it takes me forever to do my brows. But when I do them, I use the Anastasia number 12 brush and the Dipbrow pomade in Ebony. So once I'm done with my brows, I just like to take a little bit of Anastasia brow gel and just comb it through. So to clean up my brows, I always take the concealer that I'm using that day, and today I'll be using the Lancome Effacernes concealer and just carve out mainly the bottom. I will do a little bit on the top, mainly on the outer half, but for the most part, it will just be underneath the brow bone, and then, like I said, just a little bit on the tail on the top. I'm gonna start my eyeshadow next, and I'll be priming my eyelids with the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot. So I'll go in with the Sephora Collection Highlight and Contour brush and just pick up a little bit of this. It's a nice duo fiber brush, and just lightly blend some of that on. I feel like putting it underneath my eyes always makes me look so tired and so weird. So I apologize if it does that. I don't know why. It just kind of happens. Did that with a cream colored shadow. This is just from the Too Faced matte palette, the Natural Matte palette. I'm going to be taking the shade Heaven and just setting that. For the base of the eyeshadow, I'm going to just take some of the MAC Black Track Fluid line and just lightly pat a little bit of this on my eyelid, only in specific areas. I'm not going to totally take it all the way throughout the entire eyelid, but mainly on the very bottom lash line, in the middle, going almost to the edges but not completely, and then up almost to the crease, but again, not completely since I will be blending it out. I remember one time I had a client who was like kind of scared about how her smoky eye was looking, and a brand rep was there and assured her that smoky eyes always look super weird until you like get to the very end, but until then you literally look like you're a crazy person, which is super, super true. So for this smoky eye look, I'll be taking the Morphe Brushes 35D palette. This is an amazing palette for smoky eyes, especially for like holiday events and, you know, things like New Year's Eve. So it's a beautiful palette, has a lot of really nice dark colors, some really deep plums, greens, a gold in there, and it's just such a perfect color for smoky eyes. It just has a really nice matte black, all these other really nice shimmer shades that you can kind of just pack all over the lid, and then a couple matte shades to really blow it out and just blend it all really nicely and softly. So I haven't played too much into this palette, but I really have been wanting to save it for an awesome New Year's look, which is what I'll be doing today. The first shade that I'll be taking is just the matte black with the Morphe Brushes M433 brush, and just packing some of that on the base that I have laid down already. So next, with this matte shade right here, I'm just gonna softly blend that from the crease and ever so slightly up and also down into the black. And then I'll be taking the lighter color in the very, very top row, or I guess the bottom row in this case, but I'll be taking that kind of almost chocolatey reddish brown and just softly blending that on top of that other color, really, really, really softly. So the one color in this palette that I've really been wanting to use is this one. It's like a black with a little bit of like a really cool like greenish gold shadow. So I'm going to take a little bit of that on my finger and just press it right over the black shade. And it just kind of gives a very, very subtle shimmer. I don't know if you can see that, but it looks really, really pretty. Like, it's such a subtle, nice little shimmer. Then I'm going to take the Smoky liner brush from Sephora Collection and take a little bit of this kind of green right here. It's a really nice kind of mermaidy green. Pop that right underneath the lash line. And then I'm going to blend it out because I'll be putting black on the waterline. So then I'm just going to take my Rimmel London Scandaleyes waterproof pencil. This thing is like getting down to the nub, which is crazy. So I'm going to take a little bit more of that Heaven shade and just put that right underneath my brow bone. A little more concentrated. So I'm gonna just curl my lashes and put on some mascara, and then I'm gonna be putting on some lashes as well. And today I'll be using my Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara on both my top and bottom lashes. So I'm going to be using the Velux lashes today in the shade Asha. A coworker gave me these and I have tried one of the other pairs that she gave me and I really like how soft they are. So I'm going to be just popping these on with some Duo Dark Tone Lash Glue. And now taking my foundation, which is the Tient Idole Ultra HD Makeup in the shade 250. And I'm just going to dot that all over my face. Just blend that out with my Real Techniques blending sponge. Again, taking my Effacernes concealer, I'm going to just take a little bit of that on the back of my hand and just kind of dab that underneath my eyes and anywhere else that I really need any more coverage, really. Have that all set. I'm going to take my Mercier Translucent setting powder and the Real Techniques brush sponge, bake underneath my eyes and along my jawline. So for bronzer, I'll be taking my Hoola bronzer and the Morphe M527 and just kind of blending this. You can tell this bronzer is very much loved. I'm almost done with it and I'm trying to finish it up so that I can purchase a new one. And I have other bronzers too that I love, but this one I just love so much and I kind of just want to be able to say that I finished a whole bronzer up. I'm going to just take a little bit of that and just go along the hollows of my cheeks around my face, and then I'm going to just contour with a different powder after. So I mainly do it just to kind of warm up my skin a little bit, and then I'm going to be taking a nice contour powder and really defining the areas that I really want to define. So my cheekbones and then my nose bridge. So I'm going to be going into my MAC blush palette. These are just all my MAC blushes. I have the shade Taupe in here, which is awesome for contouring. So I'm going to take a little bit of that with my Sephora Collection contour brush. And then I'll also be taking a Morphe M458 and taking that down my nose. So this powder is awesome from MAC, and like I said, it's the shade Taupe. And now I'm gonna go back into my MAC blush palette and I'm gonna take the shade Melba. I love this shade, especially for smoky eyes, because it's not too intense. It's really nice and soft. And I'm gonna take my Scandaleyes angled contour brush and just take a little bit of that and put that right on my cheeks. And then with my e.l.f. fan brush, I'm gonna take some Champagne Pop and just put that right on my cheekbones. Again, I always add like 5 layers. Even with dramatic eyes, still need a good highlight. And then just taking my pinky and I'm gonna just put that right on my nose, as always. And then a little bit down the bridge of my nose, and then I'm gonna fluff that out with the brush. A little on my chin, literally whatever is left on it. I'm not going to apply any more product. I wanted to go with kind of a nude color just because it's such a crazy look already. You could totally use any other color, but I just kind of like to go with nudes and just kind of safer colors. So I think I'm going to actually go with Jeffree Star's I'm Nude and just put that all over my lips. Now that color alone is super, super nude. It might be a little too nude for some people. So once that bad boy dries, I'm gonna be going with the Buxom Mwah lip gloss. This is my favorite lip gloss of all time, aside from Max Delight, because those are two of my top favorite lip glosses ever. This one has a really nice, slightly tingly feeling because of peppermint oil in it, and it's also a little plumping, and it has a little bit of kind of really pretty reflex in it, like kind of white gold and kind of yellow gold reflex. It's just such a pretty color. So that kind of pretty much dried already. So I'm gonna just go over my lips with the Mwah shade. If you haven't tried this out by Buxom, try it. It's one of their full body lip gloss. It's amazing. So now I'm gonna just kind of buff away that powder that I had along my jawline. And just take a little bit of Makeup Forever's Mist&Fix and just spray that all over my face, douse myself in it. Fun fact, I actually put a little bit extra glycerin in here. If you have a bottle of glycerin, try putting it in your Mix and Fix because it'll kind of just make it give you a little bit more of a glow. Don't put too much because then it will make you feel kind of sticky, but I just put like a little tiny bit, probably like a quarter of a teaspoon, just so it can kind of make me look more dewy and glowy. So here's the final look. I feel like with straight hair, it kind of just makes it look a little bit more sleek and put together. So it's just a really nice kind of black smoky eye that hazes into a really nice chocolatey brown red. And I love the green that I put underneath. I feel like it gives it a nice soft pop of color that's not too intense. And yeah, I like nude lips with smoky eyes. Typically, it just kind of makes the eyes the focus and it doesn't overwhelm you, because I feel like if you have a really bold eye, really bold lips, it just looks like a lot. It looks like you're wearing a lot. It looks really heavy and almost too dramatic, but with a nice nude color that isn't super, super concealery nude. In person, it looks a lot more pinky nude than I feel like it's showing up on camera. But yeah, I really love how it came out. I love this palette, I love this black and the Morphe palette with that nice slight shimmer. It's an amazing palette. So if you're looking for a really good palette to do a bunch of awesome smoky eyes with, you can totally use this palette alone. It is awesome. I really loved it. You can also create a bunch of other different looks. It doesn't have to be smoky eyes, but you can create like daytime smoky eyes and different kinds of smoky eyes. You don't have to do this dramatic. So this palette is beautiful, especially if you're into plums, if you're into greens and blacks and darker colors like that. This is an amazing palette. So definitely check out Morphe Brushes. And yeah, it's just a really awesome palette. And I wish I had played with it more before today, but I mean, better late than never, right? I have so many other palettes and I love them all. So this is an awesome palette for a really good holiday look. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please make sure to subscribe if you aren't already for more tutorials, hauls, and just other awesome videos. And I will see you guys in a later video. I want to thank you all so much. For those of you who have subscribed, I hit 200 followers, which is an awesome Christmas present from you guys. And I did get new lighting, if you can't tell. I did have it in my previous video in my last holiday look, but I didn't really get the hang of it until recently. I was using it totally wrong and just not how I should for my particular setup. So I did get 2 umbrella lights, and my boyfriend actually surprised me with a ring light for Christmas, which is amazing. And I'm just so blessed to have someone like him. If you saw my last Instagram post, then you know that he got it for me. But I also want to thank you guys for following me on Instagram. For those of you who have, I hit over 1,000, which is so crazy because literally it happened in like a week. It literally just happened out of nowhere on a random video. So thank you so much to those of you who have followed me since then. And yeah, I'm so excited because this is just, it's just the beginning. So like I said, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a good new year. Have fun, be safe, and I will see you guys probably in 2016. I don't think I'll have any other videos going up before this one or after this one. So yeah, I will see you guys in 2016 with my roundup of my 2015 favorites, which is the next video that I will film right now using this look. So if you see that video, it's the same day. I'm not gonna lie, it is, even though it'll be next year. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Again, subscribe, and I will see you guys in my future videos.